Hey, it's the Purple Yeti. He's back. Another ridiculous moniker because monikers. Think about it. I'm enjoying some bold Dr. Pepper 10 with a little bit of the marinade left over. Look for this week's football feedings to find out what the hell I'm talking about. So, I just got done watching some other refs call a game. Interesting, but what you won't see are refs calling bad games in college football. One of them, let me get a swig. One of them just happens to be the Kansas State and Oklahoma game. Surprise! Yeah, that's right. K-State won, and they did it the only way they know how. Just good enough defense and a choking offense. It was quite the game. So, you guys watch it? I did. Yes! Anyway, enough of that. I'm not going to celebrate too much. I celebrated a lot this weekend for other reasons. But here's my recap of the game. Oklahoma spooked themselves out of the game early this year instead of late. The Bulldozer fumble was massive. Landry Jones, yep, he got spooked a little bit. Oklahoma kept up with K-State's defense, but they just couldn't stop Optimus Klein, and I gotta say John Hubert did a good job running the ball. So, you put them all together and you get an upset victory for the now number 7 ranked Kansas State Wildcats. Oh, you may be noticing my shirt. Yep, that's right. It's my Kansas shirt. K-State is off this week, but the next opponent is Kansas. So while the celebration was fun, it's time to start thinking about those guys. Because like what Billy Snyder likes to do is you gotta win your state first. And guess who's next? Sunflower Showdown. Although they should call it the Sunflower War, but okay, so it doesn't look as good. Anyway, that's next. Start preparing. You can't overlook your next opponent. Kansas is coming, and you know I saw some of the Kansas game against Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois, actually, they're pretty good. Granted, it's the MAC, but they're a pretty good team. And man, Kansas's defense, still, they're ball hawks. I mean, what you get with Kansas is a very overrated, very stinky quarterback in Dane Christ. But man, you know, even though they got Jake Sims back, you know, they were up and they kind of blew a lead. But their defense, I mean, yeah, they're giving up points, but the turnovers is what frightens me from the ball control team that is the Kansas State Wildcats. So that's going to be a good game in 2 weeks. But you know what's even more awesome is that Notre Dame beat Michigan. Speaking of turnovers, Denard Robinson was just handing them out like candy, just bam and then bam and then bam, interceptions all over the place. It was terrible. It was very terrible. So I watched that game, and I think I was right. Notre Dame's defense is a little bit better, and I think it caused problems for Michigan. I don't think they had an answer to that. I think once Brady Hoke, the Michigan man, gets the Rich Rod experience out, that is Denard Robinson, he'll get someone in there that's a little bit more pocket friendly, a little bit more ball control friendly, and then they'll get back to being better. But right now they're just lame, really, like the rest of the Big Ten. Lame. Their games, didn't really watch that many. I did see TCU a little bit against Virginia. They still look tough. Brandon Carter is a hoss. Man, just think if he was wearing a different kind of purple, well, how big of a difference that whole team would be. But that guy is going places. He is breaking out big time. And Virginia, well, it's Virginia, whatever. Go away. So I did also have the wonderful opportunity with my situation over the last weekend. I ain't telling you guys. You'll have to dig around. But Friday night I got to watch Baylor and UL Monroe, the upset kids, and that was a heart stopper. I'm glad I had the opportunity to watch that game as well. One of the things that really tripped me out was the two quarterback formation that they had, and they're able to, UL Monroe is able to do that because they have a lefty and a righty as a quarterback. So you're snapping the ball, A, you don't know who's getting to it, and B, you don't know where it's going to throw. I'm sure you can probably scheme a defense to that eventually, but that's a new wrinkle I have not seen ever. Very interesting, and it caused problems for Baylor. Baylor recovered though. After a couple of Florence interceptions, they got back on track and they ended up winning the game. But it was pretty good. It was a good Friday night football game. It's exciting in the Big 12. That's what you get. So that was the weekend. Yeah, Florida State, Clemson. Who cares? Whatever. Ooh, hey, they're back. It's like Paul Newman at the end of Color Money. It's some old fart that can break an 8-ball all of a sudden again because he got a new pair of glasses, not unlike these. And now all of a sudden it's like, look out world, here I come. When really you're still probably in Tom Cruise's shadow. Yeah, Clemson is not Tom Cruise, and but Florida State is Paul Newman. So the analogy almost works. That's fine. Point is that Florida State will eventually end up being Florida State, and you'll see some Florida State branded salad dressing and pinnacles coming up real soon. So, any other big games? No, not really. I didn't stay up for Arizona and Oregon. As a matter of fact, I fell asleep. It's a long weekend. But what do we have coming up? We have Texas, Oklahoma State. Okay, that's interesting. Westlaw is still undecided as of like a couple of seconds ago. Don't know if he's going to play. But I'm more interested in seeing David Ash. Love to see just like what he's going to turn out to be. Because I think Texas might actually turn the corner. Now that the McCoys are out, gone trying to influence, the quarterback position. The McCoys. Okay, no, I'm just loading up another webpage. There's nothing else that really is interesting. Kansas is off, Oklahoma is off, Kansas State is off, and they're going to need that extra week to prepare because actually the analogy is fantastic here because Kansas State plays Kansas next. Then they go to Ames to play Iowa State, trap game, look out, and then they go to Morgantown to play West Virginia. I would love to see the Wagga Wagga Wagga, but you got to start with these guys next. So, but they're off this week. So who's playing next week? Oh well, Baylor and West Virginia is probably the biggest matchup. I talked about Texas and Oklahoma State. Nice little morsel in the evening. But what we have at the 11 o'clock hour is the Bears versus the Mountaineers, which is really Geno Smith's first test. And this is going to be what Oregon and Arizona should have been. This is going to be quite the track meet. And it's at Morgantown, so expect couches to be lit on fire. That's the matchup of the day. I mean, Ohio State's playing Michigan State. Who cares, really? Ineligible versus choke daddies. Honk shoe. Wake me up when it's over. So, anything else? Okay. I think I'm gonna go with this. This is the last one because there's nothing else really that exciting. Well, TCU, SMU, but that's just it's Texas exciting. It's in Texas, so it's exciting for Texas. But a little under the radar, it's Big 12 and it's Texas Tech and Iowa State. Hey, guess what, folks? Those both teams are undefeated. believe it or not. You could thank Iowa being choke dogs in the Big Ten for Iowa State's undefeatedness. And then Texas Tech, I think they beat up on a couple of hay bales. I don't know. Something happened out there. I don't know. But someone's going to lose. They're both undefeated. They're unranked. They're receiving votes. So chances are whoever wins that game will probably get into the top 25. Don't think Baylor's going to beat West Virginia. But if that happens, then what you'll get is probably 7 Big 12 teams in the top 25, which would be almost 75% of the whole league, just to give you a good idea just how strong the league is this year. Very strong. It's awesome. So that's the week that's coming up. I'm still enjoying the Mason Jarnay asada that I made and some of the fixings from it. So, hey, you got any questions? You want to help me celebrate, or you want to help me look forward to the next week of football action? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and then maybe you can subscribe, because stuff's still coming, and I might actually put some football feeding stuff in there just so you can see the magic happen as I make delicious home eats for football games. So it's a little domesticated, but the purple Yeti must roar and then snore and eat in between. So kids, until next time, hey, guess what? We are gonna see ya.